So a topic that a lot of people seem to be talking about outside of politics, right? Because obviously politics are dominating the airwaves with elections rolling around. But a topic that a lot of people are talking about is the fact that everyone is tired of working, right? So many people are tired of working, and the group that tends to get criticized the most for this is usually obviously Gen Z, millennials. Obviously, I'm a millennial, by the way, but that group tends to be targeted the most when it comes to why everyone is tired of working. And we see that it doesn't matter, right? We see a lot of people, regardless of the age range, who are just done with working. And let's be honest, when it comes to work, right, there's two options, right? You either can work for someone or you can work for yourself, right? These are the two options, unless you want to just do nothing and work and get taken care of by the government. But I mean, who wants to live that life, right? But those are your two options, right? And there's many reasons why people talk about. There's many reasons given for why people are tired of working, right? People say they're not paid enough. People are stressed out. There's no fulfillment. Some people even say they hate capitalism, right? Which makes no sense because, like, regardless of what system you're in, whether it's capitalism, socialism, feudalism, right? You're going to have to work, okay? And even homeless people, right? The homeless person is working, right? And this is no knock on homeless people, but they're even working, right? You see them on the streets outside asking for money every day. So they gotta work. Everyone has to work, and I think most people understand that you have to work, regardless of what it is. You have to put in the work. But I think the biggest reason why a lot of people are so tired of work, and this is my opinion, is social media. Right? I think social media plays a huge role in why a lot of people don't want to work. Right? Obviously, you're looking at social media, you're looking at the lifestyles of people that you follow, and you're like, man, why? I should be enjoying that lifestyle. You see people with the nice car, you see the people with the nice homes, the nice clothes, you see people traveling, and you're like, I deserve that lifestyle, right? And it's crazy when people say they deserve it. Like, no, you deserve what you get, right? You deserve what you work for. That's how life works. If you deserve something, it's because you worked for it, right? And things are just not given to you. But social media plays a huge role in that, and people look at that lifestyle and they see themselves in that and say, okay, that's what I deserve. And then they go question, okay, why can I get that? Obviously, one place they turn to is their job, right? And of course, they'll say their job isn't paying them enough, or obviously I'm there all the time. There's no work-life balance. I'm there, 24/7. You're there all the time, or that you're doing 40 hours a week. Like, let's be real, 40 hours a week is nothing, right? It's nothing, right? And it's like there's people doing way more hours than that, right? Because they got responsibilities, but 40 hours is really nothing. And my thing is this: if 40 hours is too much for you, and I get it, right? Like, working for me, like I said, working for someone else was something that long term is not something I wanted to do. So, and what did I do? I did something about that. I started my own thing. So that, like I said, that is an option for you. Like I said, there's two options: work for someone else, or work for yourself. These are the options that these are the paths that you can take. It depends on what path you want to go with. But a lot of people are looking at that and they're saying, I cannot enjoy these things because of my job. And I'm like, why can't you enjoy these things? Because, I don't get paid enough. So, okay, why don't you get paid enough? Well, my job doesn't want to give me the money. Why doesn't your job want to give you the money? Well, because they're greedy. It's not greed. Because if you possess the skills, right? If you had the skills and you said, you know what, you went to your boss and said, you know what, I demand X amount of dollars, and you brought that much value to you, you could do two things. They're either going to give you the money or you can leave, right? And if you leave and if they really value, they're going to say, all right, I don't want you to leave. All right, we'll give you the money. Or you can test yourself somewhere else and see if you can get that money as well. Okay, and I think a lot of people have gotten to this point where and because their job doesn't give them the money, where they do. They'll use a credit card, they'll use debt to fund that lifestyle. Because their job, so they feel like they don't get paid enough at their job, they of course will use debt to fund that lifestyle. And we all know that that's a recipe for disaster. I know that from experience myself with $30,000 of credit card debt. But we understand a lot of people are doing this, and they'll say, you know what, since my job is not going to pay me, they're greedy, they're not going to pay me enough money, I'm going to use debt to fund my lifestyle. All because they social media has constructed this idea of like what their life should be, and they say, you know what, in order for me to live that life, and since my job won't give me that money, I got to use debt to do that, right? And like I said, people have this doom spending mentality, like, what's the point, right? You can't take it with you, so let me just spend the money now. I use this credit card and now I'll figure it out later. And like I said, we all know that's the recipe for disaster. And this is my thing. Like, if you feel like you're at your job and you feel like you're not being paid what you're worth at your job, like I said, you have options. You could either go somewhere else and test your skills in the market and see if somebody's willing to pay you, Or for me, the best way to do it is start your own business, right? Like starting your own business is the best way to prove your worth to the market. If you can start a business and bring value to other people, people are willing to pay you for that value that you bring that you bring to them. Okay, that's a direct example of how to show like how much value you bring to the market, and people will respond by saying, you know what, you brought value to me. Here's my money. Okay, and this is the best way to do that, because obviously at a job you're restricted unless you're in sales, or you bring some like concrete value to that company that they can measure in terms of revenue. You're not gonna get paid that much, right? You're gonna get a salary, you can get an hourly wage, and you're gonna be stuck there unless you can prove your value to the company. And for a lot of people, they're stuck and they're unable to do this. So they obviously just say, you know what, I know I can't gain any, I can't increase my income outside of maybe a 3% raise every year, whether it's because I don't provide the skills or because, you know, your boss is greedy. So I'm going to use debt to fund my lifestyle. And a lot of people are doing that. Yesterday, I did an article I did a video about, there was an article on CNBC where people were using debt to go on vacation, to fund their vacation this year. So instead of actually like maybe saving that money, putting that money aside so they can go on vacation, people are using debt. And then they said they were willing to pay the monthly, you know, the monthly fee, of course, in interest, the minimum payment or whatever, in order to fund this lifestyle. So people are willing to go to debt and then work and then you know, come up with the excuse and like don't understand why they're living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so a lot of people, like I said, people struggle with money because of their choices, right? We all understand inflation is up there making things difficult for a lot of people. But if you're someone with money issues, inflation is just going to make those money issues worse, right? It's just going to accelerate the issues that you already had. And a lot of people don't really understand that. They're just like, you know what? No, it's just my jobs aren't paying enough. You know, these people are greedy. When in reality, you probably just don't possess the skills in order to get the money that you feel like you deserve. Okay? Because if you think that people aren't paying you enough, all right, like all companies are not paying you enough. I mean, that's obviously not true, because you know, there are doctors making a lot of money, engineers making a lot of money, project managers making money. You know, more money than whatever, I don't know what you're doing, but there are people out there making money. Now, do you possess those skills to get that money? No, and that's okay. But what you can do is you can work towards that, right? You can develop those skills, right? Whether it's through more training, schooling, whatever it is, getting your foot in the door and developing those skills. These are things that you can control. I mean, it takes a lot of work. It may take a little work, a little bit more time, a little more effort, but these are things that you can control, right? If you want to be able to command the amount of income that you want, you have to put in the effort. You have to develop the skills that's going to command that income. And for me, like I always say, starting a business is the best way to do that, because that is a direct way to say, all right, you know what? What kind of skill, what kind of value can I provide to the market, and then what in return will they give me the things that I'm looking for based on the value that I give them, and for me that's the best way to do it. Okay, so yeah, I think social media for a lot of people, if you're someone that's on social media, you know. And if you're struggling with that, if you're getting anxiety every time you're on social media and you're looking at the lives of other people, get off social media, right? That's the best thing, just get off it, because it's not, all it's going to do is stress you out, right? It's gonna make you compare everything that's going on in your life. Your job is never enough. The people, if you're in a relationship, your boyfriend or girlfriend is not enough. Like nothing is ever enough, because you're comparing that lifestyle to what you see on social media, and nothing can compete with that, right? There's just too much out there. There's too much fake lifestyles, and you can't compete with that. All it's gonna do is stress you out, create anxiety for yourself, and then feel like nothing is ever good enough, because people have this settle mentality, like, oh, I don't want to settle, right? In reality, you're always settling. Why? Because there's always something better, right? There's always somebody better. There's always somebody that makes more money. There's always someone that has a nicer car. There's always someone a nicer vacation, better clothes. There's always somebody better than you. So in reality, you're always settling because there's always somebody better. All right. So yeah. So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. Right. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.